Welcome to this edition of EMS Now Up Close. I am Eric Miskell with EMS Now. And today it's my pleasure to speak with Andjela Pasi. She is the EMEA Director of Sales and Marketing for Waldom Electronics. I've interviewed several people from Waldom over the past year. Waldom, of course, is in a unique position in our industry as a master distributor. And they really partner primarily with the material manufacturers and the authorized channels. Every time we do an interview, I get questions from people saying, who are these guys and how can we leverage them? So it's always good to have somebody on to help explain further what they are doing. So Andjela, welcome. Thank you for taking time to speak with me today. Let me begin by allowing you a chance to introduce yourself and your role within Waldom.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. So my name is Andjela Pasi. I've been with Waldom for 10 years now, working as on the side of the strategic partners. So as you mentioned, in marketing as well. As you mentioned, we are in a very unique position in the industry, being a master distributor and selling exclusively to authorized distributors, but being also a master distributor as an extension of the manufacturer. So we're really playing that role, being in between manufacturers and distributors. And I have the opportunity to really work on both sides, because for me, partnership and customers are not only our distributors, but also our manufacturers. So I've been working with our strategic partners for many years. My job is to make sure that we have we're building our relationship together, that we're looking continuously at different programs and how we can support their channel. And many different programs we've been doing together with our manufacturers and distributors to solve the problems from very high MOQ quantities to problems with availability, access management, and so on.
Yeah, that's good, because what I wanted to ask you about today was one of your programs, because obviously the industry has a lot of inventory right now, and that's a concern for different people for different reasons. But specifically, Waldom has what you call your excess management solutions service. And as I understand it, and you're the expert, I'll let you speak to it, there's essentially two programs in there, the 50-50 and the 3-for-1 exchange one. And I really want to get in the 3-for-1 exchange one, because that one is fascinating to me. But maybe you can differentiate the two for us really quickly.
Yeah, so the way I like to say for both programs is just a little bit of intro. Clearly, in distributors get something that we call scrap allowance, and this is something they get directly from the manufacturer to manage their excess inventory. But what we see, especially in this time of the year and this market stage we're in right now, is that this scrap allowance is not sufficient for them to cover their excess needs. And this is really where Waldom comes in. And I like to say that Waldom solutions are, I would say for sure, if there is one solution the manufacturer will promote to distributor as a solution outside of that scrap allowance to manage the excess, would be clearly Waldom solution. And I will explain why. Because really with Waldom solution, 50-50 is something where distributor will send their stock to us, and then everything we sell, we will be splitting the profit with distributor 50-50. So distributor will not get an immediate, or how I like to call it, instant reward on the stock they sell to us, but rather they will let us sell it. And as we go and we're selling it, we will be splitting the profit and providing the 50% share to distributor. Very, very a successful program. And some distributors have a tendency and prefer to go that way with the 50-50 program. And then we have on the other side some other distributors that actually prefer that instant reward, as I like to call it, which is the 3-for-1 exchange program that we do here. What we do there is that the distributor will send us the excess. And let's do some simple math. Let's say that there's $100 of their excess that they will return to us. We will, of course, discuss together and then, of course, decide which stock we will be accepting as Waldom. There's a certain checklist that we're looking always at. We want to make sure that we're only taking the brands that we are authorized for. We are doing, after that, of course, all the quality inspection to make sure that the product is in sellable state. Once we accept that inventory, we're giving the opportunity to distributor to get the full credit for this $100, which I would say there's no such a partner in this industry that it's giving anyone excess the full credit. With a condition that distributor will use this credit to then purchase 3 times the value of what they returned buying stock from our stock parts, which we also call I would say high runner parts. We're talking about over 180,000 SKUs that we have on stock. So there's really a vast opportunity for them to choose from. So it's a very good program in terms of being able to get that instant reward. So for your access, getting full credit for your access, and at the same time buying 3 times the value of the product you actually will turn, the product that you will sell. And that's the kind of idea and the difference between the 2 programs.
So only products that has been purchased from a manufacturer can be returned directly to Waldom.
We are very focused on the whole, let's say, brand integrity part of it, which makes us very different from maybe some other solutions. And this is that we're very focused on ensuring that when we accept product, we're accepting only product for the brands that we are authorized for. Why? Because then on the long run, also once we accept this product, and then in the future when we sell this product, we're also making sure that we are providing visibility to the manufacturers about what we sold at what price. So the manufacturers are also getting full visibility over the product and everything that we are receiving through this program.
And what about obsolete parts or managing obsolescence? Is that has to be factored into it, I would imagine.
It could be part of it as well. This could be also the product that we would accept. Of course, what we're trying to do always with obsolete parts is we're looking at whether there is a demand in the channel. At the end of the day, our goal with our program is to really repurpose that product. We want to give it a second life because this is a great product that it absolutely sellable with very good quality, and we know that there is a need in the market for it. So when we do our own decisions on what product to accept, we're not only looking at the brands, clearly has to be brands we're authorized for, but we're also looking at the potential to sell the product looking at, of course, historically the demand of the product, and so obsolete product could definitely be one area as well that we would look into.
Tell me, how large is the network of distributors that you work with?
So we do, I mean, if I look at it globally, we talk about 2,500 distributors on a global level. And this is another unique position of Waldom, being able to have such a network of distributors, but also at the same time being also integrated with these distributors. Many times I get a question, but why do you think what makes you so successful in selling that stock that maybe others cannot do? What is it that you're doing different than others? And I think it's really that visibility, where because we have such a good network of distributors, because with many distributors, we're also integrated in their systems by being able to integrate our inventory into their system, so that whenever they have to make purchasing decisions, they will see our inventory as it was their inventory in front of them. This is what makes us very unique, because we're allowing visibility. We're making that inventory really visible throughout the whole globe, right? And this is something very unique that Waldom adds into this model.
Okay. And you mentioned in your comments here the issue of scrap allowance. I know it probably varies, but on average, how much is that usually? Is there an average percentage?
Yeah, so we do see that usually we talk about something between 2% and 4%.
Okay.
It's the usual percentage. It really depends from the manufacturer to manufacturer, but usually we talk about between 2% and 4%.
Okay, good. And just out of curiosity, how much of the material you take back on average are you able to resell within your network?
Yeah, so we have and again, we could look at some specific manufacturers where our recovery rate is higher, also due to the long-term relationship, and of course having also more stock at disposition. But usually on average, we talk about 60% recovery rate, which is really impressive, because again, this is always what I try to say to distributors to really consider when they're considering how to manage their access, to consider Waldom. It's for multiple reasons. First of all, is because truly there is someone who's looking for that product, and so by you scrapping that inventory, you're not giving the opportunity to someone else to actually get to that product. So that's the need for that product. And then I would also like to bring another aspect to it, which is the sustainability and ESG aspect, which we see that it's a very common topic right now in our industry. A lot of manufacturers, distributors they're doing their ESG reporting. They have to show their activities around ESG. And this is another way to show that, because by giving this stock to Waldom, that there's at least 60% chances that stock will be repurposed. It will not end up in landfills.
Yeah. I know you've spoken to these issues, but I'm going to ask it anyway, just because I think it's important. So what inspired Waldom then to create this program, and what are the primary objectives that you aim to achieve through it?
So yeah, as we said, clearly we've seen the need from distributors to solve the problem with their excess, and clearly that scrap allowance was not sufficient to cover their needs. So we gave them another opportunity to revisit their excess stock and to help them with their inventory management. Second reason is also the sustainability side of the business, because we're really allowing again the product to be repurposed. We're allowing we're preventing the components ending up in landfills, which we're seeing happening a lot because at the end of the day, with distributors, many times there's also this setup with manufacturer that you just have to scrap your stock and provide a certificate of destruction. And we've seen so many components ending up in landfills where actually we can repurpose it and definitely find a home for a second home for that product. So there are really two reasons, primary reasons: solving the problem for distributor on the excess side, and then also the sustainability aspect to it.
So one of the issues in the industry, and we spoke prior to the interview briefly about this, is the issue of NCNR, the non-cancelable, non-returnable, that especially from EMS, for our EMS audience, they struggle with, right? They have that, then how do you return it? Now, I know that it sounds like your programs, though, as long as it goes through the authorized distributors, might be a way to help mitigate that for EMS clients.
Yeah, absolutely. I think different. What we're seeing through this program is clearly from the challenge of I purchase too much, because clearly forecasting. I can forecast as good as I can, but we all know that it's especially in this time of the market, it's extremely difficult. Two, of course, a lot of then concerns as well with the fact that you had. And we hear this a lot from our distributors. We signed the non-cancelable, non-returnable. Clearly, I'm stuck with this product, and I really don't know what solution to find there. So we've seen many different concerns, especially this time of the year in the market, where and the reasons why they cause so much excess in the channel. And as we discussed before we started the interview, many distributors have doubled or tripled their inventory, and this is the situation that we are in today. And so clearly we're seeing many causes that created this situation. And of course, we are very understanding of this and very happy to support where we can.
Very good. So I know that you're a big fan of your solution. I'm sure there's competitors who try to do the same. So tell me how is it that your solution is superior compared to other options that might be available for the industry?
Well, it really is. It's based on protecting, as I like to say, the manufacturer integrity, first of all, and I will explain in short what we do when it comes to this product that comes to Waldom. First of all, as I mentioned already, so we are really very focused on receiving the stock from the brands that we are authorized for, that we have a long-term relationship. Once the stock arrives in our warehouse, we have a very extensive team of people on the quality side. They are doing this for many years, ensuring that the product is in sellable state. So we will be checking the packaging, we'll be checking if the original label is on the product. We're going to make sure that this product is in the sellable state before accepting it in. Everything that we accept in, as I mentioned before, we're going to make sure that it's well positioned in the market through our platforms and through our global network of 2,500 distributors. Also in the way that we want to make sure that the product is presentable in the right way on our website with the right images. So we're very caring about ensuring that again, brand integrity from our manufacturers is protected. When it comes to pricing, we're very transparent about this as well. We're not undercutting our manufacturers. We're making sure that the stock we receive, we're selling it at the cost price or above, so cost book price or above, and clearly, of course, we make sure that there's also transparency in terms of POS reporting. Everything we sell of this inventory, our manufacturers are getting a POS report every month, showing them exactly to whom we sold, to ensure that the sales are going, of course, to authorized distributors, so to whom to sold, at what price and what quantity. So we are creating this extra layer of I would say transparency transparency, which I think is very important, especially in this time of the year where we're seeing a lot of concerns with products ending up in gray market, ending up in some sanctioned territories, which is a very sensitive topic at the moment. So we're trying to create this extra layer, let's say, of security and transparency for our manufacturer while respecting their brand.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting, because I would imagine as a manufacturer that gives them confidence in working with you, but also I like that you're not undercutting the market, because that would be a concern, right? And likewise, letting them know what you've sold to whom, because I'm sure they want to know kind of where their products are ending up out there.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I think that's the key in this program, and this is something we've been seeing as really an important part of the program and our relationship with manufacturers as well. Is this type of setup that we've done since the beginning of the programs. We launched this program in 2010. It's been 13 years, and clearly and recovered hundreds of millions of dollars for our manufacturers. Something that, as I like to say, pretty much you got the check for 100 million of something that you were ready to write off and probably get zero for it. So while at the same time also helping their efficiency at the same time, because by making the product available in the channel, in the market, instead of being scrapped, we're also preventing them maybe from manufacturing extra product unnecessarily, because there's already inventory in the channel that we can support distributors with. So we're really hitting multiple, I would say, pain points in the industry by providing this solution to both manufacturers and distributors.
Yeah. And I do want to just loop back to another comment you put in there, which has to do with the environmental benefits of the program, right? The sustainability. That is a key piece and a key consideration for the industry writ large, not just in Europe where you're at, but globally. That is certainly a big initiative, and more people are being required to report on that. So in that sense, this is also that's very, very good for that piece of it.
It's very important, and it's becoming more and more important. In fact, we're seeing that many manufacturers are approaching us specifically because of DSG efforts, and they're very interested in working with us on this program. So it's clearly that and this is something also that on the marketing side we're really trying to create more awareness around this, and trying to really send this clear message to the channel that if you are every time you're letting the stock being scraped, instead of trying to get it sold through Waldom channel, you are missing the opportunity in terms of for that product to find a home for someone who's looking for the product. But most importantly, you're really missing an opportunity on the ESG side. You're clearly not helping us in terms of saving some of these components from the landfill. So as I said, I think this is a very important aspect, and something that we've been trying to focus much more in our messaging as well to the market, to just make sure that everyone in the industry understands how this would connect also to their ESG goals.
Okay, perfect. Now, I told you before, a lot of our audience come from EMS companies, and I know that EMS company cannot leverage Waldom directly. Every time I go out, people say, how do we leverage them? And so I'll let you respond to that, because I think it's an important message to send to the industry, so people know how they can leverage the benefits that you guys bring to bear.
Yeah. So as I said, our model is it's been like this from the very beginning. Since we founded the company, we're selling exclusively to distributors, and our job is to help distributors whenever we can, and to help the manufacturers as well whenever we can, to make sure that we're providing the solutions, the right solutions in different areas and the challenges that they've been facing in the market. Now, although not working directly again with EMS, clearly through providing these type of solutions to our manufacturers, to our distributors, we're supporting the whole ecosystem, I would say, of the electronic components industry.
Yep. Now, if people want to know more about Waldom, I always tell them to go to your website, because, by the way, I love your videos. Your little video clips are so instructive and so simple. I always rave about those to other people. So I always tell people, if you want to know more, go watch some of the videos on the website, because they're fantastic. What about shows? Anything going on where Waldom will be
Yeah, so we are
appearing?
always trying to be where, of course, our strategic partners are. We're visiting a lot of different trade shows. We will be at ECIA event, which is coming soon into 2 weeks' time or less in 2 weeks' time. In Europe, we are at the SPS trade show. So for all the ones who are watching from Germany and from the area, SPS Nuremberg trade show is a very important show, along with Electronica. So we are always going to we're going to trade shows. We are putting a lot of emphasis on our social media. So I invite you that clearly I know for sure that if you land on our LinkedIn page, if you follow us, if you look at our content, it will be clear to you the type of programs that we're doing. And we're very, very active on both social media, website, and clearly trying to be in all important industry events.
Yeah. Good. Well, thank you for that, Andjela. This was very, very informative. I'm glad we got a chance to talk about this. And I hope we get a chance in the future, because I think this Waldom brings a great service to the industry, a much needed service, and big fan of yours. And I wish you continued success.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. And yeah, I hope that I was able to give it a little bit of a flavor of really what Waldom does and how we're supporting the electronic components industry.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. We thank you for that. Thank you.